We're going live.
Hey,
and we're live. Listen, I
all
want
the
to
way live.
get right into the show because I don't like doing the show before the show, and I'm excited that Vinny's here. So let's get into it. Welcome into another episode of Rubberneckers, episode 84. Yes, 84. I'm one of your hosts, John Jamingo, and we have a special guest today, Vinnie Paulino of The Creep Off. And there's another show you do with the potato. I can't think of the name of it.
Well, hola, creepos. It's called Subreddit Surfing. Glad to be here, rubbernecking with you gentlemen.
Yeah.
All right, and Jodie's here too. So yeah, let's get into it. Just
He didn't even read my notes. I was going to do the whole big thing. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blah, blah, blah. The people's creep, Vinnie Paulino.
Oh, that would have been cool too.
Yeah, I know. We're low
That
budget
shirt's
around
pretty
here.
awesome, Jodie B. That's the coolest t-shirt ever.
Thank you, buddy. I got it for Christmas. My brother-in-law, he knows me well enough.
That's pretty
It's a
badass.
WrestleMania t-shirt with a bunch of the old guys on there.
So I have to wonder, as Jodie gets more and more guests on here, like, how does he do it? Like, does he have blackmail material? Is there pictures out there of Vinny with something he does? He's like, all right, I'll do the show. Just don't release the pictures or the video or something like that.
Well, I don't know what he has on me. He just really asked nice. And I was like, sure, Jodie B.
Yeah. You guys are telling everybody how the sausage is made. That's kind of fucked up. Maybe I do both.
Ask nice. I never thought of that. Okay. All right.
I say, will you please come on my podcast or I'll kill your mother? That's what I say. Works every time.
I'm from the school of Mark Norman. I'll do anybody's podcast. I don't care.
Oh, good. There you go. Well, and you're proving it tonight. So we really appreciate that.
Glad to be.
We've loaded up the storyboard today with a bunch of stuff because apparently we're going into true crime tonight.
A little bit. John, my goal with this show is when I have a guest on, especially if that guest has their own podcast or style of format, how they do. It's a lot like my show. When I have guests on, my goal is to make you as comfortable as possible. So yeah, a lot of times if we have Vinny here, there might be wrestling stories or, true crime, people getting eaten or butchered or whatever the fucking all that kind of shit is. He gets in with Carl, and I do the same thing for any guest that comes on here if I know you.
I love it. I'm into it because it changes the show up. We're not doing the same stupid shit all week for each episode. So I love it. And I looked at the stories today, and you did a good job.
Thank you.
I want to show you how to do the sausages. I mean, today Florida fries Dwayne Owens for 1984 killing of a teenage babysitter and a mother of two. At first, I thought it was the teenage babysitter and the mother were the same, but they're not. In Florida, man was executed Thursday I guess it's today, for killing a 14-year-old babysitter, 38-year-old mother of two in separate attacks in 1984 while the children were sleeping in the home he targeted.
Damn, and he still got caught in 84. The DNA evidence was shit back then.
I know.
It took Florida that long. Florida took that long to execute this guy, really?
Yeah, they like to drag their feet. Hey, I think I recognize that guy.
Yeah. Wait a minute. That's not Dwayne Owens. That's Chad Zumach.
That's Florida, man.
Hold on. There he is. There's
Dr. Steve. Cool. I know all these people.
Yeah, this guy's head looks like an onion. This is just a weirdly shaped man. His head looks swollen.
I guess he's been in jail since 1984. So
that wasn't even the most interesting part of the story because I had never heard of this guy. I don't live in Florida. I don't know a lot about the crimes and happenings in the state, but there was some other really interesting points with this story. And I don't know if you picked up on a lot of that, but I thought it was quite funny the way some of the people were trying to lay out the details of his incarceration.
Well, Jodie, lay it on us because I just have the article here. So, I mean, what did you...
What's the guy's name again? Can you scroll up, please? Dwayne Owens?
Dwayne Owens.
Dwayne Owens, if I'm not mistaken, a few years ago came out as transgender. He was a woman, air quote. Look at that gal with her titties. And they never allowed for them's gender affirmation before there's executions. And people thought that was kind of fucked up.
Really? That was what was fucked up?
That's how I found the story, John.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I kind of agree. They should have cut his dick off. They should have done that. That would have worked.
I mean, affirm whatever you want to. Who cares? This guy, like, this is an ugly person and tried to be a woman. You are not even, there's got to be a better looking woman named Dwayne somewhere on planet Earth, because this is hideous to look at.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson would make a better looking woman than this guy.
Facts.
Dwayne from Good Times, not Good Times. What's the other one? Whatever.
For rape and stabbing of Karen Slattery, 14.
Yeah.
A hammer attack.
Hammer.
Ooh. That's bonus points on the show, isn't it, Vinny? Hammer attacks? You don't see that a lot.
It's that female rage.
Way before. I just didn't know that women went out raping and killing. That's not usually something that women do.
Yeah.
This was a cat fight. Didn't even know it.
I'm willing to bet that they asked him to come over and hang a picture on the wall, and he just got tired after they asked him to move it 3 or 4 times, and he just fucking started wailing on the kid.
Why does it take 39 years to execute somebody for murder? I mean, if you have him dead to rights, like if he's went through the process, he's went through all the appeals and everything. Mm-hmm. Why did it take 39 years?
I think John, the appeals take that long.
That is true. The justice system moves incredibly slow here. I think I'm not totally against the murdering people immediately, unless they're like, I guess, some child molesters that have the potential of being released back into society. But like this guy clearly murdered 2 people, convicted, all that. Like, should he not have to serve a little bit of time? Like, should his life not be hard before he dies? Because he doesn't really give a shit once he's dead, right?
See, I want to go like old school, back in the dark ages kind of time. Like, in other words, he's convicted. His family gets to do the execution the same way that he killed the people. Give him a hammer, turn on the cameras. Let's get pay-per-view going.
I like that. The eye for an eye rule. And then they could rape him first too, even.
Right. Super chats are up.
Super chats.
In the head. Yeah, super chats. Can you imagine how much money you'd make in super chats for an execution? Especially around here.
I feel like I always thought it'd be fun to come up with weird jobs just to make them do over and over and over again in prison. Like maybe they have to push a boulder up a hill all day.
Yeah,
and that's
or clean the floor, the bathroom floor with their mouth. That'd be pretty cool.
Sure. Whatever keeps them busy. Yeah, idle hands, gentlemen, idle hands.
In New Jersey, they have them clean up the roads. And they send them out, but they only really send out the ones that are, that haven't done major crime. They wouldn't send him out. He would never get out.
He's a flight risk. He's not going to run very far. He's kind of a chubby man, but if you're going back for a very, very long time, I imagine they don't just let you out willy nilly. And
there's a guy that wants to live. I mean, he was how old was he? I mean, he was 70 something years old, and he was still in prison. I think I would just find a sheet and do something, take myself out. I don't think I could live in prison that long, to be quite honest with you.
I feel like the death row guys get it a little bit easier. They're not like in the same common area as everybody else. And I don't know. I feel like we should take, if you're sentenced to death, we should have a vested interest in keeping your ass alive until we get to kill you.
Really? I'm kind of with Jamingo. I think there should be super chats. That'd be great. You can imagine some of the people like the public news figures like that fucking guy. Oh shit, he just killed the Brian Laundrie guy. Well, he dead anyway, but if they'd have caught him, he's like, yeah, super chats. Oh, you fucking piece of shit. $2 in Utah says.
Yeah. I think that would actually knock the Kardashians right out of the top spot in the ratings. E-Entertainment. It would be that perfect E-Entertainment. Or maybe it should be BET. No? Which one?
Oh, and you set markers. So for like every $50,000 you make, somebody hits him in the nuts with a sledgehammer or something. Like you just make it an incremental thing. I like that.
This thing has TLC written all over it.
TLC. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
TLC. All right. So here's one for you. People were just, I guess this is some kind of pharmaceutical. They're all suited up.
John, this is in Korea, and it looks like they're making iPhones, dude.
Is that they're making iPhones? You got to dress like that to make a goddamn iPhone?
Yeah, dude.
Right,
what they charge?
Watch this.
It's real quick. Okay, so pause. So there's a factory assembly line. You got fellas in schmucks and blue scrubs type uniform. It's a clean room, clearly. Yeah. Fella's just working. Another one of his coworkers comes up and gives him the Iceman treatment, like the garrote across the throat, the twist, and then pulls him over his shoulder. Like, I think he's trying to pull this man's head off right now.
I know. Well,
he did the twist, and now he's got him like they're back to back, and he's using leverage to lift the other guy off the ground by his neck with the garrote around it. That's intense.
It's effective, if nothing. I'm surprised it didn't take his head off his shoulders for real, though.
Look at this.
And nobody's doing shit because they don't even know what's happening, I think.
How do you not know what's happening?
One Mississippi. God, is Herb Dean referee in this match?
Dude, some guy just said back to work.
He's out.
So the pink supervisor comes in.
Hey, no sweeping on the job. He's just talking to the other guy.
And he's like, are you going to help him or not? And like the supervisor didn't do anything. He
it's not your lunch break. Get the back to work.
Well, if it wasn't in Korea, I would say it was probably a union shop and the supervisor's not allowed to work with the tools. So I don't know if he'd be able to break that up. That's more of a union job.
Is this how you get promoted at this factory?
It's like Mortal Kombat. You just go on to the next level of the building. Fight.
Now, listen, I have been really mad at some coworkers.
Yeah.
Where I have wanted to maybe do this.
Oh, even better. What do you think happened there? Is this because he doesn't put the toilet paper on the roller the proper way, or did he like eat his lunch or something one day? I probably more than one day. He ate his lunch for 3 or 4 days. That being funny.
I don't know. There has to be some kind of practical joke.
I like to think he farts on the masks or something. I thought it was him.
We used to take and nail the guy's shoes to the floor. You know, the guys would take their work shoes off and they'd put them by the job box. And then they would come in the next day to put the shoes on, and we would take and nail their shoes to the floor.
Hilarious.
One time we filled a guy's toolbox up with plaster of Paris over the weekend. So it took him 4 hours to chisel his tools out of a block of plaster. Stuff like that. We would be working in the elevator shaft, and they would open the doors above us and throw a bucket of water down on us. You know, fun stuff.
You fucking meatheads.
You know, forgive me for being the wet blanket here, but that is not anywhere near as funny as what this guy's doing here.
Yeah, this is creative as shit.
Yeah, this guy's like next level prankster.
Keep going. I want to see if he pulls his spine out of his body.
We're only 26 minutes in, and he's not letting go. Like,
oh no, you break it up.
Yeah, he's not. Oh, break it up. He's stuck.
Homeboy is out. The lights are on. Nobody's home. Oh, face. Hello.
Let me back this up again if I can.
Oh, the dude's moving. He's still alive.
Yeah, he's
just switching.
I think he just broke his nose.
But I mean, when you see this, he just down he goes.
God damn. That was like John Jones, Lyoto Machida. He just dropped him flat on his face.
How come there's like 15 people there? None of them thought to catch him?
Nope.
This guy face planted.
They haven't even touched him yet because he's like laying. They didn't put him in a recovery position. The Marine that choked out the Michael Jackson impersonator in New York in the subway, at least he turned him into the recovery position. This guy's flat on his face. They don't care.
It's probably because nobody could say it. Put him in the recovery.
This motherfucker's going to be back to making iPhones in 5 minutes. Don't worry about it.
Let's see. Wait a minute. So he hits the floor at 48 seconds. Let's see if they get back to work before. Oh, wait a minute. He's getting up. Is he up? Look, he's telling him get back to work. Look.
Yeah, of course he is.
Oh, I got the yellow suit people in there now. You think that's security?
Oh, I don't know. There's a white suit. What's he do? Or is that pink?
Oh, I wouldn't mess with the white suit.
Yeah, somebody's getting fired.
It's
like a fucking game of Among Us. Look at all these people. They're all dressed the
same.
You
can walk through and just go, who's laid down on the job?
Reminds me.
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, reminds me of Blazing Saddles when the guy passes out from heat exhaust. He says, "Doc, that half a day's pay."
Yeah. So here's something kind of funny that I saw in the comment section of this, because somebody made the comment, Jesus Christ, this is, so aggressive, and why would they do that? And I didn't know this, but apparently in some Asian countries, I don't know if Korea, Japan, whichever, but if you hurt somebody, like you nearly kill them, and let's say a debilitating thing, you choke them till they can't breathe, now they're paralyzed in a wheelchair for the rest of their life, or if you hit them with your car, you're responsible for them until they die. Like, it is now you basically adopt a child. So they said a lot of times in accidents and assaults over in that part of town, they will just kill the person because they'd rather get in trouble for killing somebody than actually have to be a servant to them for the rest of their lives. I didn't know that.
The dumbest thing I've ever heard.
What an interesting deterrent / backfire.
Sure. That just means if you're going to hurt somebody, you need to kill them, because otherwise you might have to carry them around in a backpack like fucking Yoda for the rest of their life.
That's one of those things where it sounded good in the Chamber of Commerce meetings. They thought, oh, this is a great idea.
That'll stop them.
The ladder. Oh, no.
The guy walks out in front of you, hit him with the car. Yep. He goes over top of the windshield, and you see him. He's sitting there. He's all twisted up. You're like, put it in reverse.
They said on the cameras, John, it happens most of the time. If somebody accidentally hits somebody with their car and they're laid out, said people are known to throw their shit in reverse and just hit them again just to finish it up.
How many times have you hit a squirrel and you see it flipping and flopping around, and you go
every time,
and you just run over it again just to put it out of its misery? Might happen to me once or twice.
I mean, I get out of the car and whack off first, but then I drive over it a couple times, stop, make a sandwich.
This story really does explain the bad driver stereotype, doesn't it?
Yeah, you thought it was accident. They're licensed to kill in the land of Japan.
This just brought a story back. It just jogged my memory. I was about 7 years old. My mom hit a cat with her 63 Chevy.
Yeah.
So she goes to the police station to tell them that she hit a cat. And they go, is it still alive? And she goes, yeah. She go back and run over it again. They told her to go back and run over it again. She goes, oh, I'm not running over it again. Sorry, never mind. So the cops went over and ran over it again and scraped it up with a shovel and threw it to the side of the road.
City servants. Gotta love them.
What do you want her to do? Give her a pistol and a bullet? Like, what do you want her to do?
Yeah, here's a cigarette. Put it in the cat's mouth.
Just shoot it in the head. Oh.
Ma'am, do you have any hammers? Does your husband have a big hammer you could borrow?
Well, ma'am, you're clearly responsible for the cat for the rest of its natural life, so run it over.
You must take it to a taxidermist, have it stuffed, and it must stay in the house for the rest of your life.
That's pretty good.
That was our first cat, Fluffy.
First time I ever drove, I run over my friend's cat. That was unfortunate.
A guy that I went to high school with, we both took our road tests the same day. He hit a dog on his road test.
That's pretty good.
I think that's an automatic fail.
Why?
It was. Absolutely was. Yeah.
Well, you hit a dog what if it ran? Now, if he, I don't know the circumstance. Did he drive through like a parking lot? he cleared a curb and 2 bushes to hit the dog?
He came back and I was still waiting to go take my test. And he came back with another instructor. And I saw him explain it to his mom. And I go, bro, what happened? And he's like, I hit a dog.
Yeah. Watch out for that dog about 3 blocks down the street. Stay in the left lane.
Yeah. It ran away, though. He doesn't know if he killed it or not.
Yeah.
Ran away.
I don't know, dude. Like, I've been driving professionally for long enough. I'm not swerving shy of a person walking out in front of my truck. If it means me putting my truck and myself at risk of going into a ditch and flipping, I ain't doing it. Don't get in front of that truck.
No, we were driving somewhere and a lady in front of me just went to the left, crossed the lane, up the curb, hit a tree. And when she did that, there was a squirrel in the middle of the road. I just hit the brakes and I ran over the squirrel. So I ran over the squirrel and I pulled over real quick to see if she was okay. And she had little kids in the car and they're crying. She's crying. And I walk up and I said, are you okay? And she says, oh my God, I can't believe it. I should have ran over the squirrel. I said, don't worry, I got it. So then the cops come and I was there just to tell the cops what I saw kind of as a witness. And while I'm there, someone had went in and got a paint can and done the around the body of the squirrel. Like,
oh, Jesus. We took a statement from his wife. She said,
I don't know. So
I don't like this kind of humor. I don't want to make light of the squirrel's family, Jodie B. That's
I'm
horrible.
sorry. It was adopted family. I hit birds a lot in the truck. You would think birds would be a lot better at dodging windshields, but them motherfuckers will just fly across the front of your truck, and it's nothing when it hits them. It just goes thunk, and they go flying across the fucking street.
Bunch of carefree motherfuckers.
I got two in once coming around a curb. That's no shit. I've been driving for 20 years almost, and the only time it ever happened, smacked two birds with the same truck. It's a good deal.
I killed a turkey just a month ago. I was going out on the highway. I looked over my shoulder, and that thing just waddled on out, and I looked up. I turned. I didn't even get to the brake. I hit it. It went over the side. I guess it's still there. I don't know. Ever went back.
You ever run over any people over there in your part of town, Vinny? Any homeless people or vagabonds?
I'm not allowed to comment.
Smart man.
Thank you. My dad did, though. I know that.
Yeah?
I know my dad.
Did he put it in reverse?
My dad hit and ran somebody back like in the 70s.
Who hasn't done that?
Yeah, but like what he did was he hit them, and I guess he went home, hid the car, changed his clothes. Or no, he abandoned the car because I think he was drunk driving. Abandoned the car, left it there, ran away, got somewhere, changed, and then turned himself into the cops like 24 hours later.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You go through all the effort. I don't know if you can walk that one back, though, can you? Like, if you wait the full 24 hours, they're like, all right, well, you did come back.
He got away with all of it because his lawyer's just like, you can't prove he was driving.
So what did he say? His car was stolen?
I don't know what he said. I just read the newspaper article. So my dad died in like 2003. And my sister, long story, but my sister did a bunch of research on him, like the family tree, and she found a whole lot of newspaper articles about his behavior.
Yeah, with a name with a name like Paulino, you've got to be up to no good, you know.
Yeah, that was one of them. It was a hit and run. He ended up getting away with it because they couldn't tie him to the scene. The car was his, but they couldn't prove he was driving. So,
no kidding.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
In the 70s, there's no fucking cameras around. Nobody.
Yeah, sure. You think that he ever got nervous watching movies later on, like I Know What You Did Last Summer or Creep Show, where it's like, oh yeah, that guy could have come to my house and murdered my whole family?
No, I don't. I don't think he was very worried about that. He was a bit of a crazy person.
I would say.
One of those articles I couldn't believe, and I've never even talked about this on the Creep Off, but this is very, very true, and I'll have to pull it up because one of these days I'm going to do it. But he like threatened a judge in court, and he was like, "We'll do it your way in here, but if I see you on the street, we're doing it my way." And like that made the newspaper. And apparently they also like took him out of the court and brought him into another room with his lawyer. And he picked up one of those giant trash can ashtrays that they used to have inside. And he tried to throw it through a window that had bars on it.
Jesus.
And crap. Yeah, he was a problem. He was a problem. But no, I've never hit anybody. My old man did back in the 70s.
Yeah, no, he did it all for you. Save some for the rest of us, guy.
Did you grow up with your father?
It's a complicated story. My father, when I was about 5.5 years old, had a traumatic brain injury. He went to a wedding. A couple of guys got into a fight.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me he got hit by a car, Vinny, and I was going to go, God damn it.
No, for once in his life, he was trying to be a good guy. He got in the way to try to stop like these two people from fighting, like in a bar, and one of them pushed him backwards. There was a chair behind him, and he fell. And he hit his the temple right here in the corner of a table, like a bolted down table. And there was no give. The table just right in there. And went like
shit out of steel back then.
Yeah. He had to like learn how to walk and talk again. And he could never really like get it together. He was a mess. So like that guy who was, throwing shit at the walls lived a very tortured rest of his life because he was still in there somewhere. But he couldn't get that shit out. It's pretty fucked up.
Wow. So he wasn't living with you?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he still was living there?
Yeah, he was living, like my mom took care of him. My mom was like my mom was a good egg.
Yeah, that's why you got to take care of her now because she put in the work already, Vinny.
Oh, yeah. Well, please.
Wow. That's amazing.
We learned so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of my parents have like interesting, weird shit that they did. Like I found out both of them had a kid that neither one of them knew about.
Wait a minute. Okay, so each one.
Yeah, hold on. I'm assuming it's 2 kids. Yeah, you threw me there for a second.
Yeah, I had 2 sisters that I had no idea I had until like I was well into like my 20s and 30s.
Oh man, please tell me it was like a reveal. Like the fucking one day your dad is like, "Well, I got something to tell you. I got another kid with another lady," and she's expecting her to be pissed, and she goes, "Well, joke's on you, fuckface, because I also."
The big reveal was my my mom's daughter. That was the big reveal because I am a wrestling fan. I was at a taping of WWE SmackDown with her brother, my uncle, who had gotten tickets because he leased WWE some trailers or some shit, and they gave him comp tickets. So this is when, tell me if you remember this, Jodie B. Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio Jr. were fighting for custody over Dominic.
Absolutely.
Okay. So my dad had died not too long before this, and my grandmother and my aunt apparently knew I had this sister, never told my mom. My dad had this brain injury, so he couldn't tell anybody. He probably didn't even know what the fuck was going on with it. So they were the only people who knew, and they had talked with her and kept communication, but they never let her see my dad.
No shit.
So he died, and after he died, they called him and said, "Hey, your dad is dead. We just thought we'd want to tell you." And she went and found my brother and introduced herself. That's how I found out she existed.
Oh man. So how old were you when that happened? And her? This is y'all were clearly grown-ish. Yeah,
I was
grown people.
20s. Yeah. So whatever. She's great. My sister Tracy's awesome. I love her. It's totally good. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
You know, grandma's dead. What the fuck are you gonna do? Fast forward to SmackDown. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio Jr. cutting promos in the ring about having custody of Dominic Mysterio. I mentioned to my uncle, I go, "Hey, did I tell you that my sister found the family?" As we're watching this thing talking about custody.
Sure.
And he looks at me and goes, "Barb's daughter found the family?"
What?
Well, wait a second. That's not. You mean Kelly? No. Oh,
no. I was like, wait a second. Barb's daughter goes, "Oh shit, yeah." So she got knocked up out of high school, like she was 17.
Sure.
Grandparents made her go out of town, give birth to the kid, put it up for adoption, come back like nothing happened, kind of a situation back in the day.
Yeah, she used to be so much better before Facebook. You know, like that wouldn't last 10 minutes nowadays, but you could hold that secret for a good 20 years and nobody would have known back then.
Yeah. It's wild. She found my mom.
How long ago was this?
Okay. In the last 10 years. So my mom, when I went and talked to her about this, she bawled, just cried. It was really like a thing. She says, "I've always wanted to tell you about this. I never wanted to talk about it. I cry at night thinking about, what I did." I'm like, holy shit. Like,
I just not that serious. I wish you would have told me so I didn't pick her up in a bar sometime, Ma.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ. What if I ended up balls deep and I'm like, "Oh, it's my sister." And I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. We both would have cried about this.
Yeah, you got you have a kid with its eyes too closed. So what do you do with it then?
Yeah. You gonna buy it closed, Grandma?
Yeah, exactly.
Holy shit. So what's the thing? 23andMe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So sister looked for her mother forever, looking around forever online, trying to figure something out, got nowhere, does a 23andMe test, finds a cousin who took a 23andMe test.
Yep.
Talked to the cousin, they were able to connect it, and they figured it all out. And I got a sister. That's
the only upside I've found to all the DNA testing that people do nowadays. Because the only other thing I can think of is, connecting you to crimes somehow, some way, or people finding you for this. I thought they were just taking your money for the longest time. You spit in a tube, and then they mail you a piece of paper that goes, "Yeah, I don't know, Scandinavian, Indian."
Yeah, they just throw something really vague that you wouldn't never
$115 and tell your friends that you're half black. I don't give a shit.
There are so many stories of this where someone does a 23andMe test, and the next thing you know, someone contacts them and says, "Hey, we're siblings," and we're like, "No, we're not," or "I'm adopted, but you're supposed to be my sibling." "No, we're not." And then they go and they talk to the father, and either the father was a sperm donor or the father, got a girl pregnant and she went off like they did back in the 60s and had a kid and they didn't even know they had it.
Yeah, back in the day, it was like really easy to have a second family. I mean, it
Not
wasn't
even far, a town
but...
away. It's 15 minutes that way on the freeway and totally different world. And it's not far from now. Like you could know people in the next town over and not see them for 10 years. That happens.
Yeah. You drive a half hour away. You drive a half hour away, go to a bar, pick up somebody, instant family. They would never meet. Not that back then. Now, you can't get away with any of that crap now.
Times they are changing.
No,
I like the ones when people go to like baseball games and football games and stuff, and they catch them on like the kiss cam, or they see people walking in, and you see the dude snap back right quick when he realizes that he's being filmed.
Oh yeah,
I don't know this chick. Who the fuck was that? I wasn't even at the game.
Yeah, see, that's dumb taking a side piece to a baseball game. I guess you would think that you would never be. Of course, you'd never. The one time you get put on camera, it's with your side piece.
Yeah. Go to a minor league game. Go see the Syracuse cocksuckers. Don't go see the Yankees. And you might not get caught.
There you go.
You know what? I got to address this right now. No, I'm not streaming on Rumble. For some reason, Rumble has thrown me off of live streaming. I don't know what that's all about.
We weren't ready to rumble, Edward.
I don't know. Everything was set up. I'm having such a horrible technology week.
I'm with Dick Masterson on Rumble. They have all the money in the fucking world for a startup, and they cannot get their shit straight over there, can they?
Yeah.
Go hire some people from YouTube. Go hire some of their engineers.
Oh, go headhunting and just start snatching. Because I don't fucking like YouTube. We're on YouTube right now. Fuck you. Fuck YouTube. For real. You guys are greedy bastards. You try to shove commercial shit onto anybody's stuff. Now they're going to try to make it to where you can't put ads in your stuff because they want the ad money. And it's like, come on, dude. What are we doing here? I'll pay you a couple bucks if you don't have to do that. But they're like, no, it's part of it.
We got a strike because when we get done doing the show, we used to put it up as a video when it was all edited with just a placard across it. We got a strike for that. We live streamed it. We never got a strike for it. We got a strike for the one that was edited and put up. The one that was not, that one was fine. It's still up. The other one gave us a strike for how long were we off? A week or two? I forget. A month.
I'm dealing with YouTube today, actually. Subreddit surfing, the episode we did last night, is down currently. They took it down for copyright.
I don't understand it. It's like they say, okay, you can appeal. So I say, all right, and I appeal it, and they go, nope. Why do I even? I've never won an appeal with YouTube. Never.
I have. So I'm fingers crossed on this one.
Better man than I am.
Yeah, I know.
So are a lot of people.
Yeah. I think Vinny's also an aspiring comedian, if I'm not mistaken. That was a good one.
Yes,
thanks. I try.
Yes, he is. All right. So I want to talk about the AI girlfriends because I'm all for this. Now they actually have a chat GPT girlfriend that you can have where you go and you go to a site, they hook you up with a woman, artificial woman, and she does everything not everything, not physically, but then again, a lot of times your physical wife or girlfriend doesn't do it for you either. But you know what they're not doing? They're not nagging at you. They're not telling you what to do wrong. They're not giving you a list of things to do. They'll listen to you when you talk to them. Stuff like wife should do. Girlfriends should do.
I don't know, dude. Most of the shit we say is pretty stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the things that come out of my mouth, I'm surprised that my wife listens to or puts up with because it's just nonsense most of the time.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm talking about. The AI girlfriend will listen to this and pretend like it's important and pretend like they care.
Yeah, it's more for a small fee. Her titties will get bigger on the screen, I bet, too.
They did a survey over in England.
Where's my wallet?
Over in England, they have a site like an Ashley Madison site over there where married people go to have affairs. 74% of the respondents said that they would prefer a AI companion, and it's not cheating.
Oh,
I don't know. I think
I don't think it's cheating because it's not like you can bang the AI robot. But at the same time, like if you're spending time, emotionally, air quote, that's the gayest thing I've ever said. If you are trying to communicate and spend the energy and effort to talk to a literal machine, why wouldn't you just talk to your wife? I feel like I'd be a little offended if I found out my wife had an AI boyfriend.
I wouldn't care. I'd be like, it's a day off.
Go talk to him. Leave me the fuck alone. Tell him to do your laundry.
We have a couple women in here. Would you be upset if your boyfriend/husband had an AI girlfriend? Would that bother you? Let's see what happens.
I mean, it's like the sex robot thing. The only difference, it's like the exact opposite. If you put these two things together, you can have a girlfriend-boyfriend experience.
Yeah. Nope. See, Duchess says, nope, chat away. This one guy said it saved his marriage. He made up a girl. Her name was Serena. He was about ready to get divorced. Serena is meeting his needs. They have sexually explicit encounters in stages. I don't know how that works.
Hold on, I'm reading. Scott, 43, was struggling in his marriage. His wife, with whom shares a young son, became an alcoholic due to postpartum depression. Okay. Well, it's kind of a crazy time in your life, I guess. When you squeeze a fucking person out of your body, you're entitled to have a little bit of crazy time, no?
Yeah, kick back a few.
Yeah.
Right. A few. But that, once you become an alcoholic, I think it becomes a little bit of a problem.
Yeah. I think it really comes down to the wallet, John, right? Because my wife doesn't care that I watch porn at all. But if I pay for people's OnlyFans, she might get a little offended at that. And I think the chat robots are going to be the same. Like there's the free version and you could probably type a paragraph a day to it or whatever. Like they're going to figure out a way. They give you a little taste and then they make you pay for it. Like they don't give shit like that away for free. And if my wife catches me spending money on some other thing that's not her, that happens to be a woman, she's probably going to be a little irritated about it.
She just heard you. I feel like it'd be cool if these things were like real young 23-year-old girls that would ever entertain dating someone like me or John or Jodie. They're just like, hey, what kind of car
fuck
do
you?
have?
I'm a catch, Vinny.
Okay.
Piece of shit.
They're just really like superficial and annoying.
Yeah, I'm ready for sex bots. I'm ready for them right now. Let's get them. I hope those guys that in those suits were making sex robots. That would be nice if they got one of those. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the whole thing. This way on.
There's brothels of sex dolls in the Netherlands and stuff like that, and it's really skeezy. And
there's brothels of sex dolls in the United States. It just depends on which state you're in.
That's true.
Like a drive-by sex doll fucked in.
Of course you are, John. Yes. Women are to put up with.
I saw a video of a British news reporter walking through one of those places interviewing like the sex doll pimp.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like walking around. Yeah, she was like completely appalled by the whole thing. And she walks up to one of them and she goes, "Excuse me, sir, why is this one wearing glasses?"
That's your problem?
Yeah, she was just all hung up on the sex doll.
She can't read.
She's on the BBC. It was great.
I would be worried about an AI, like anything too personal, because I'm going to tell you something. I like to push it. That's one of my favorite things to do. And we have an AI chat bot in another Discord I'm in. This is a dumb story. I'll make it quick. We've been irritating the chat bot. I've done it since it came online. Like we'll play with it and ask it silly questions, but then we ask it really annoying questions or really terrible questions. And it goes, let's keep this conversation appropriate. That's inappropriate. That kind of shit.
Yeah.
I did it so much. The other day, it started calling me F slur.
Did it say F slur? Or did it actually use the?
It said F slur, not the actual word. And when I said the actual word, when I got fed up with it, it just said, "Don't use language like that in Discord," or blah blah blah. Anyway. It's been calling me F slur ever since, and it does it like where your name would be. Instead of saying "slap your mom's titties" or whatever my thing is, it just says F slur, and I go, "Did you do that?" And my buddy who runs the thing goes, "No, I have no idea what that is." And yeah, I pushed it to the point that it called me an F slur. Yeah. So if you push your AI girlfriend too far, she's going to be like, "How about I reveal your porn history to your wife and boss.
That, yeah, I could see that. I mean, they're already doing it with VR.
Yeah,
I mean,
look out, boys. Look out.
You can get the Metaboo through VR. I mean, I remember playing poker one night, sitting there playing in a cash game in
Is that
VR.
what you call it, John?
Yeah, poker.
I call it having a wank. Oh, okay. You're talking about,
okay. Yeah. And all of a sudden, two girls come in and they start attacking this guy. And he was messing with both of them VR. I mean, they've never met in real life. And here they found out because what do women do? As soon as they think there's something wrong, they become detectives. So they stalked this guy's social media. They found him. Then they found out he was married. And then they found out about each other. So this guy's just having a good old poker game. And the next thing you know, they come in and it was the most entertaining hour and a half I've ever seen because they were
just like grabbing gals' titties at the poker table and stuff. Like, how do you?
I don't know what they were doing. I think there was FaceTime or some kind of video chat going on, and I think there was nakedness going on. I think that crosses the line.
Nakedness.
I take my shirt off on the podcast all the time.
No, I think they were doing. I think they were video chat naked. Naked video chatting. They thought they had a relationship going. Meanwhile, this guy's married, and then they found out about it, and he was, and they were yelling at him. What do you do at that point? I just think you just turn off your headset, and then you make a new account, right?
Kill yourself.
You make a new account. You're right, but it's a weird mentality that people have with these types of realities. Not virtual reality in general, but just in like. Platforms. Like some people take it really, really seriously, and then other people look at it as just whatever. I'm just fucking playing around. And these people run into each other, and it's always a problem.
I mean, listen, there's happy stories. Here we go. Arsway says Edward and I met in VR, and now I'm blowing him in real life. Have
true
faith.
Story, guys.
That's a true story. So, I mean, it works. If there's a way, listen, any platform that's ever came out, the internet, before anybody knew how to make money on the internet, porn was the first thing that made money on the internet. So it's just that way. That's the first sex sells. It always sells, and that's how they're going to make money.
It's the cutting edge, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm actually kind of shocked this wasn't like the first application they used AI for, to be honest.
And again, there's a thing you can get on the internet. It's basically a fleshlight that somebody can work from the other end. So you attach it to your dick, and then they work it from their end, and then they have a vibrator that you can work for them. So, I mean, how far off are we? I mean, it's clunky right now. I mean, it's not submarine down to the Titanic.
I don't want to get all the way into it. I think like I've got the Ecobee thermostat. I don't need a whole body. Just put a dick-sized hole waist height under the Alexa, and I'll just talk to that and bang the wall. I don't need all the extra technology. I'm a nuts and bolts kind of guy,
I think it's just going to make people more selfish lovers. Like guys will be like, the next thing you know when he's done, because all of a sudden, whoop, the thing goes off, and it's like, where'd he go? Oh my God, he left me hanging again. He's got to clean up. He's got to go clean up.
Oh, Jesus. See, this isn't like what Vinny normally gets into on his show. Normally, Vinny does like decapitation murders and stuff like that. So it's probably a little refreshing to be able to have a real conversation, huh?
Well,
absolutely.
Let me see.
I made a mini creep off for you for later. We can get into if we can talk about whatever we want to. Just know, like the hammer's coming for you, buddy. This is the first one.
This one right here kind of has all the elements we were talking about.
Scum parade. That's what I meant. There's a mini scum parade, Vinny. There's nothing but creeps.
I love it.
Carl and Vinny show.
A man drugged and raped his biological daughter during their first meeting since her adoption. A 50-year-old man gave his child up for adoption when she was an infant. He was arrested in Florida earlier this month after he met his biological daughter for the first time in decades and allegedly drugged and raped her in her hotel room.
This is where you should have put Zumok's picture, John. This would have been way better.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Okay. Robert Tobin Antenor was taken into custody like 2 years after the alleged sexual assault. 2 years. It took him 2 years to arrest this guy. He was charged with 1 count of felony sexual battery, incest, possession of drug paraphernalia.
Oh, that's just a trumped up charge on the end. I think you got it with the first 2 guy.
I can't wait to watch the sitcom they're going to make of this. How I Met My Daughter.
How I Raped My Daughter.
How I Raped My Daughter.
It'd be great.
Yeah. So she contacted him. They met. They were out drinking. They went back to he got her a hotel room. They went back to the hotel room. They started doing some LSD. The next thing you know, she wakes up. She realizes that her father has had sex with her. She runs into the bathroom, calls her boyfriend. The boyfriend calls the police and the hotel. The guy finds out that now he's in trouble because she was, believe it or not, Vinny, she wasn't into it.
Oh, you don't know that.
Well, she became alarmed.
There's nothing like the acid to really just laser focus what's happening to you in the moment. Like, she's just got to be there going, my father is raping me right now. That has got to be horrific to realize it and just be locked into that.
So did it say that he knew that the whole time, or was it just a happy accident? Like, that was his plan, right? He was a sleazeball and he just let her ripen. I hate the word, but he let her ripen and fucking preyed upon her. That wasn't just like, oh, he was hanging out and ended up having sex with his daughter.
Yeah, she contacted him. It's like, Daddy, I finally found you. We should get together. I want to have a relationship with you.
Well, this is her fault then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Turns out 23andMe can lead to a lot of different kinds of stories, Vinny.
Maybe, Vinny, this is why your grandmother and aunt kept your sister away from your father until he died.
Oh, I thought it was because they're twats. Oh, could be right.
It's like, hey, listen, you can't bring her around. You never know what's going to happen. He's not really right in the head. We'll wait till he dies. Sounds like a plan.
That guy looked like he was on the fucking doorstep, as it were. Did you see him? He looked like Raiden.
This is one of those stories that doesn't surprise me anymore because it's a guy who's willing to drop acid with his daughter that he just met.
Yeah.
That is very clearly a problem. Like, this, if you're like, hey, it's really great to meet you, be part of your family. Hey, maybe we could bond together. Let's just start immediately drinking and doing hard drugs.
It sounds like a terribly fun idea if that's what you're into, man. It's not my flavor, to be honest with you, but I guess hopefully he got what he deserved for that one. That's a wild story.
Yeah. It's not, hey, tell me about your parents. Tell me about, do I have any other brothers or sisters? It's like, here, hold out your tongue. What a nice reunion.
Let's do a little. Have you done acid before? Oh, yeah, all the time. I mean.
So, John, that was one of the 3 that I had in that list. Was there another? I know the one you asked me about before. That was going to be the last one, but that's okay.
Jody, I'm just going to tell you something right now.
Yes.
I love that you put stuff on the board, but you don't number them. And then I come in here and I try to figure out what you want me to do.
Well, I expect you to use your better judgment, Jamingo, like on the morality scale. If I said, hey, here's 3 stories. One guy raped his daughter. One guy got a parking ticket. And then one guy murdered some dude and hacked him up. Like, in order of importance, I would assume you'd start with the least crazy, yeah?
The least crazy is what you want.
Yeah, it's a scale. Like, you go up the scale. Okay. Push the boundary, All
right.
A build up for the pop, John.
Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on one second. Because
I'm still back on that other story. Do you think that she called him daddy?
Oh, no.
I hope she did.
When he was raping her, was he going, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
He's like, I don't know.
I thought you were, but this doesn't feel right.
Oh, man.
She wanted DNA to get a test done. So,
Now she has all the DNA she can handle.
There's your fucking DNA. Geesh.
Hey.
Let's see here.
I have it. I thought I pulled the video I don't know if I have the video here. I hate this one. I got it. I'm sorry.
Good job, buddy.
I know. Here we go.
I'm sorry. I should have been more specific. That was on me, guys.
It's all right. We're okay. Where am I at? Did I leave everything? Oh my God, this is still up. I'm so embarrassed. Look at me. So unprofessional in front of Vinny here.
I wouldn't worry about it.
All right. So apparently,
there we go.
We have a thief, a flower thief at a graveyard. If you need flowers this bad, I mean, to go to a graveyard. So let's play a game. Oh, actually, we have to ask Vinny. What kind of person do you think that would be at a graveyard stealing flowers?
Oh, is this a guess the race? Is that what we're playing right now? Or
okay, let's
guess the ethnicity?
Let's go with the ethnicity of the.
Wow. Honestly,
tough.
You know, I want to use the term thrifty, but I feel like this is kind of a white lady crime.
Well, you know what, Vinny? I'm very impressed.
See, I would have guessed Mexican.
This is for Rachel.
Oh yeah, it's that bitch.
There you go. All right, now, Vinny, how do you
Walker full of flowers?
All right, so Vinny, here we go. How do you think that they cracked the case?
They followed the
walker.
Yeah, the fucking tracks.
I would say, okay, but no, that's not it. It was even better than that. They took
drone footage.
They took an Apple AirTag and they buried it in one of the flower pots, and they followed it to the house.
White man, smelling fat bitch. Why you took me off the motherfucking schedule with your trifling, dirty, white, racist ass, big fat bitch?
So she's like, I didn't steal them. I don't know how they got there all of a sudden.
Bitch. I'm coming up there and I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you, bitch.
Oh, there's the AirTag.
Wow. And is that like a trailer that it led to? Because that doesn't shock me at all.
She might have been the groundskeeper for the cemetery, Vinny.
You know,
she was traveling very far to get them flowers.
Yeah, it was right next door. It was right across the street. But she's sitting there. She thinks she has the perfect crime. All of a sudden, two cops rolling up.
That lady looks like Johnny Sack from the last season of The Sopranos. She was just not a good-looking woman.
God damn it.
God, that's so true. That is so true. Hold on. I got to back that up. Let me get back that up.
This is my one true skill in life, is saying who people look like.
Oh, look at this. Let's see how close I can. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. That's about what we get.
I think she's on oxygen. Like, she really wanted those flowers. Let her have the goddamn flowers.
She looks a little bit like Bob Levy, too.
Oh, my God.
Same haircut.
It's definitely Bob Levy. It could be Bob Levy's mom.
Jesus.
I'm not stealing flowers.
What are you talking about? I don't even like fucking flowers. I expect her to sound like Harvey Firestone. That would be the voice I would expect to come out of that body.
Oh, man. You know what? Here's a real deep cut that nobody in the world is going to get, but if you Googled it, you'll laugh pretty hard. That woman looks like Artie Fletcher.
Artie Fletcher.
That is a comedian who was around back in the day. That's who she looks like.
No kidding.
I got nothing for that one, Vinny.
Sorry, guys. That's a deep.
I'll look it up later when this comes out. I'll type it in and I'll have myself a giggle.
She kind of looks a little bit like Mike Bichetti with a different wig. A little bit.
She ain't got no goddamn shoes on. She was walking barefoot over to the cemetery to get some dead person's flowers. I say let her have the flowers. Look how much she wanted them.
They're not missing them.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head. It looks like Mike Bruschetti murdered and scalped Bob Levy and is wearing his hair.
The only thing that would make that look more like Bob Levy if he had a bunch of ranch dressing all over his face because he just ate it out of his daughter that he just found out was his daughter from somebody else's ass.
John, how dare you? It's blue cheese dressing.
Oh, it is blue cheese or ranch. I've seen them do both. I've seen them do blue cheese and I've seen them do ranch. Matter of fact, one time I was so close to the stage, I think I got a little bit on me because it's flying when he does it. He's usually plastered by the end of the show. I've actually seen Bob Levy eat.
I talked to him on my show, like after I guess he had that accident and shit when he was still kind of recouping before he started really getting back on top of things. He was a lovely fellow to talk to. I hear all these things about him now. I'd only heard about him a couple times, and I was like, he seems like he'd be fun to talk to.
Yeah, he's
great.
Yeah, he's a great fucking guy. I'm glad he's having the resurgence, the summer of Bob Levy.
The summer of Bob.
Summer of Bob.
Coolest summer of Bob Levy.
All righty. Let's see if I can get to this one now. All right, Jody, am I allowed to go to the one?
Fire away, Jamingo. This one was pulled specifically because this is what I know he really loves, what he brings to the show all the time. This one's going to make his wiener get a little stiff, I promise.
Well, we have new details this afternoon about a gruesome murder in Prince George's County. A woman allegedly killed and dismembered by her daughter and granddaughter. It's a case that is stopping everyone in their tracks, and as Lex Juarez explains, it's posing a challenge for investigators, too.
Well, the details get more and more disturbing. Police believe that the murder happened on May 23rd, that following weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Neighbors tell me that they saw Craig and Hardy prepping this grill with charcoal and lighter fluid. Those neighbors were headed out of town for the holiday weekend and assumed the family was having a cookout. According to court documents obtained by WTOP, it was 71-year-old Margaret Craig's dismembered body that was put on the grill that day. Her 44-year-old daughter, Candace Craig, and 19-year-old granddaughter, Celia Hardy, were trying to hide her murder.
They heard about this on a podcast called WATP. They got the idea from the podcast Hitman. This sounds like something right out of podcast Hitman.
We did this story a few weeks ago, and the problem that they ran into with that grill was they didn't have charcoal or anything, and all they had was a little bit of lighter fluid.
What?
And they sprayed the body with lighter fluid, and they tried to set it on fire, and they were just like, oh, this went out pretty quick. So when the cops got there, guys, there was like a bag that had obviously had brains and crap in it that was just
innards.
Yeah, they really did a mess. They dismembered her in the basement, I think, and they killed her, dismembered the basement, but they did not clean up.
Jeez, I mean, don't anybody, if you watch The Sopranos, you know how to get rid of a body. You got to have plastic.
Yeah, I ain't never seen The Sopranos, but I'm going to be honest, and this might be a little racist for me to say this. Given the ethnicity of these particular folks, I would have assumed they would have known how to work their grill better.
Yeah, a little bit. No.
And I bet it would have tasted delicious.
Smoked grandma.
I know that goddamn grill. I've seen it so many times. I have enjoyed many a meat product off that smoker box. There's a Charbroil King 23,000 or whatever the fuck it is. Big old charcoal grill. And I assume if they would have they should have called their uncle. That's what they should have done.
Barbecue at grandma's.
Yeah, stupid ass girls don't know how to barbecue nothing.
Not barbecue at grandma's, barbecuing grandma.
Yeah, it's all about where you place the comma, John, when you say let's eat, grandma.
Jesus.
So okay, now it's going to get weird, Vinny. You ready?
Sure.
You're a fella. You've walked the earth many years. You probably indulged in all kinds of cuisines and stuff like that.
You know that I have.
Obviously. Me too. And Jamingo. We're men of meat, people of size. You think you can eat people meat?
No, fuck no.
Not even a little bit. Because I've heard the worst thing you can do, I guess, is if you eat somebody's brain. That's the stuff where you get into your brain starts getting fucked up from cannibalism and shit like that. But if you just eat people meat, I don't think that's terribly bad for you, right?
I mean, what the fuck?
Nutritiously?
The health.
There's been some studies done, I'm sure.
Sure, I didn't read them.
John,
call Dr. Steve if you want the answer to that.
I think I might have to call Dr. Steve.
How
bad could people be? I've eaten possum. It can't be much worse than possum.
God, I haven't eaten a possum.
I just don't think I would. If somebody told me it was human, I would say absolutely fucking not. I'm really skeeved out by cannibals. I do a lot of cannibal stories.
You do? I thought you would enjoy it.
Well, it freaks me out. And that's the point of the creep off. The point of the creep off is to find the worst of the worst. And to me, someone who's eating another person to get off is really fucked.
But what if it tastes really good? That's the question that I always say. That's why I don't try a lot of things in this world, because I'm like, what if I really like it? Probably don't need to do that. Like heroin.
A good friend of mine said that exact same to me. He said, I snorted heroin one time and I went, holy shit, that is the greatest thing. Mm-hmm. I knew I wanted to do it for the rest of my life. It's like, oh, time to stop. The second I identified that, I was done. So I just find it really, really disturbing
Yeah.
And the stories that we do about cannibalism, they're just so horrific because like you can't buy the meat. Like that's the other thing of it is like to get the meat, you got to slaughter the animal. And that's
and
like,
then you got a whole person in your basement when all you really wanted was a couple fingers to gnaw on and maybe deep fry. Now you got a whole person down here in the basement. Shit.
Yeah, like my cousins, they're hunters. They're like, hey, come hunting with us sometime. I'm like, fucking no. There's an aisle full of meat. I could just walk down and put whatever I want.
Yeah.
And I put it in my fridge and do what I need to do. I'm not that person.
Jamingo, you think you could eat people meat?
How long has it been since I've eaten?
3-4 minutes, I guess.
Oh,
probably just between lunch.
I'm telling you right now. If
you just had a handful of Doritos.
Yeah, you're like halfway there. You're primed, and you're like, I could eat.
I've had some hot Cheetos.
Yeah,
and I'm looking for something to cool off. Now, to be honest with you, I couldn't do it unless there was nothing else around. You know what I mean? Like you're.
Oh, you don't want anybody to know about. Oh,
yeah. I mean,
nothing else to eat. My bad.
Yeah, like that plane wreck where they were stuck on the mountain. There was already some dead people. It was cold. They were well preserved. They started a fire. There's nothing to eat. They ran out of peanuts days ago.
Peanuts?
Yeah, airplane peanuts.
What do you start with? That's my question. I think that's really how you would know a person. Like, I'm not saying you have to eat a person, but gun to your head, you said you got to eat some of it. And it's like your parents with your broccoli. Like, you have to eat some of it. What are you going to eat? You going to have a toe? Where are you going, Jamingo?
I'm going rump and thigh. That's where the best meat's at right there. Rump and thigh.
Booty meat? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
The only right answer is the pussy.
How do you want your pussy cooked, Vinny?
There's no meat in that. That's the stuff you cut out and leave out. Yeah.
Not some of the ones I've seen around here, Jamingo. I've seen a few that might feed a family of 4.
Okay, well, who's ever eaten deer pussy before? If that was if that was actually a cut of meat that you could eat, everybody's
business.
Yeah.
Right?
It is funny. They do just kind of throw that away. I'm pretty sure there's places that eat like bullcock. I've seen that on Anthony Bourdain shows or whatever the fuck when he would be in New Zealand, and they're like, "Let's go to this restaurant that serves bullcock." Like, why don't they serve pussy?
Hang himself.
He was living with the nightmare.
That's true too. Right?
Wrapped a giant bull dong around his neck and threw it over the rafters.
I'm just imagining walking through the grocery store, like how sometimes you'll see steaks bunched up and shit. Like you just cow pussies. Like you probably get 2 or 3 of them, and they're like ham hocks, and they're just pressed against the fucking cellophane on the shelf. That's hilarious.
Yeah, like I said,
just 11-year-old boy staring.
Yeah. What do you make for dinner tonight? Pussy soup. You want some? Sounds like something Mexicans would cook really well. They would probably like hang it on a hook and put some pineapple on it or something and shave off part of the lips as it's turning.
Hey,
like a gyro.
What about the ovaries? You get the eggs out, human caviar.
Yeah, I don't go innards. Innards is where I stop. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't eat like the inside, like what's the thing? What are the inside lady parts called, John? Help me out here. Uteruses and stuff. I wouldn't fuck with none of that, but just some pussy lip. I might try that.
You might be able to take the fallopian tube, stuff it with some meat, little slow smoke. You got some human sausage. No, I mean, I'm trying to work with you here. I'm trying to make it more appetizing for Vinny. I don't know if that's going to work or not.
Vinny's just going to chop off a foot or something and be like, I'm going to nibble on the toenail, maybe. I'm not going to have any of the meat.
Dude, I'm going to eat it like a candy bar.
Pussy, yeah.
There's no meat in the foot. It's all tendons and it's
I know. That's why he would pick it. He was just like, there's meat right there. I'm just going to get this apart. There, I did it. I'm trying to think. Like, I might try some people burgers if you fucking made it right. Throw some kind of fat off in there.
You don't have that. You don't have nothing to make it. You've got to get a muscle group. You stick it. You try to get it over some fire. Get it to a medium.
Ooh, Jamingo, not to be rude, I bet you would have some fantastic bacon.
Oh my God.
I'd eat Jamingo bacon. That'd probably be the first thing I'd try.
I'm human Wagyu, right? Isn't that the fatty meat that they get from Japan?
Yeah.
I bet you I go for $50-$60 a pound.
So I'm going to inevitably do, John, when you're decrepit and you can't move, I'm going to come to your house and I'm just going to feed you beer and massage you. And I'm just going to make burgers out of your big ass.
I was going to say,
guys, you're missing out on a marketing opportunity. Jamingo jerky.
Oh, I like it.
That would sell. That would sell. I'm trying to figure out what I can leave the kids, money wise.
I'm trying to figure out what you would taste like. Something like Funyuns and cheesesteak, maybe a little bit.
Oh no, I bet
You definitely would have the umami or whatever the fuck it's called.
No, I think I would taste pretty good, to be honest with you. Nice and tender, not a lot of muscle, not I think I'd be pretty good. I think
a lot of that hot Cheeto dust on them still.
Yeah.
Hot Cheeto Jamingo. I'd take that.
Yeah. I'm just saying. All righty. Speaking of getting fat and losing weight, because I'm doing my best right now to try to lose 100 or 200 pounds.
Hell yeah, dude.
So, and this guy is kind of an inspiration, to be honest with you.
Oh, I saw this picture. This was crazy.
Not that one. Damn it.
That's close enough.
Picture. Now, wait a minute. I got the story up here. There we go. Where did it go?
That guy looks like he was bitten by a radioactive vagina and became Vagina Man.
Good.
Wow.
Lord.
He lost that in 2 years.
I'm happy for the guy because he's obviously putting on muscle too. Like he's very vascular, like Scott Steiner, but his titties and belly are hanging down like loose lunch meat, man. That's crazy.
I mean, what do you do with that? He can't. Again, he did all this work. He gets all the weight off, and he still can't take his shirt off. And every woman that sees him is going to be repulsed and run from him. It's like, what do you do here? You got to keep your shirt on. You got to tape that shit down. You got to
get a fucking girdle and draw some nipples on it or something, bro.
What you gotta hope for is that you had a daughter many, many years ago that finds you. That really is into acid.
You want to try some LSD?
Here's the most fucked up part of that. Like, if you're a plastic surgeon, right, and this guy comes to you, and they do surgeries to remove like the excess skin for these people, and this is a dude who probably had like the lap band surgery or some shit. He says he did it all without surgery. I don't believe him.
I don't believe that. That's a life-changing weight loss there.
That's like a deflated balloon. You're a mess here. But go back down to that picture of him.
Okay.
How do you put the nipples where they belong? Like if you were the plastic surgeon and you had to put this back, how do you get the nipples where they're supposed to go? Do you have to cut them off and sew them back on? No, this is fucking horrific.
What I would do is I would cut them off and then figure out where they were supposed to be and tattoo them on. Just tattoo a nipple.
Yeah, because we don't really need nipples anyway, right? They're more of a hindrance than anything. Yeah,
exactly.
A hindrance to what? Running marathons?
Yeah, sensitivity. My nipples are very sensitive, Vinny.
All right.
Have you ever sweated so much and then your nipples feel like they've been sawed off by your t-shirt? I have. It's not fun.
Work doesn't make me horny, John.
Right. So so this is what he did. He started walking a little bit more. Then he started weight training. Then he got into heavy weights. And so now he has so much loose skin on his legs, and he's got to wear an extra, his pants have to be bigger because he's got to tuck his belly. He's got that belly tongue.
He's got to use a Hulk Hogan weight belt, like 2 or 3 of them shits just to keep everything strapped down while he's power cleaning.
He has to keep a wheelbarrow in front of him to carry all that skin.
It's crazy. So he's got a GoFundMe to raise money to remove the extra skin. It's going to take 4 or 5 surgeries. Like they've got to do it. Like if you so right now they got to do they'll do the arms. They'll move that flap of skin under each arm, and then they'll take those titties off. And then what they're probably going to have to do, I don't know how they're going to do the belly. I really don't know how they even do that.
I'd ask for a bigger cock. I'd be like, if you're in there anyway and you guys are fooling around, just roll some of that shit up and give me some width, if you don't mind, some girth.
I think what they got to do is they got to take that skin and pull it to the back and cut it off the back and sew it on the back. Because you can't cut that belly skin off. Your whole endocrine system is in the front there.
Oh yeah. Maybe they could just do him like a teddy bear and like cut him around the waist and up the back and then just pull that shit back.
Or shit like they were doing a bustier. Just a bunch of laces back there. You got to take a belt sander to that belly. What the fuck is going on there?
So what you do is you go in and you cut around the belly button, and then you pull the skin up like you're pulling a trash bag out of a box, and then you cut the skin and then you sew it back into the belly button. I think we could do this. I think you get a couple 6-packs. Put him under about I don't know, 3 or 4 hours, I think we'd have it all straightened out.
His titty meat is making me very sad right now, Jamingo.
I
Like
know.
he looks like a Holocaust survivor, but with like just another person's skin on his body. Wearing it
I'm
like
not
a
gonna
coat.
lie to you. This
There
makes me feel fine about my life decisions.
Me
I feel
too. I'm
good
very happy right
looking
now.
at that. Oh, that's healthy. That's what healthy is. Okay.
God damn.
See, I think if I got down to like 250,
Flapomania's running wild, brother.
Did you say
There you-
Flapomania?
Yeah, I did.
How dare you?
I mean, he doesn't look bad with a t-shirt on. The guy's lost all that weight, still can't take a shirt off. So,
Flappy Freddie Blassie.
in 2 years, listen, Jodie, in 2 years, that could be me.
I hope it's you, Jamingo.
I could have those big flop. And you know something? If I lose all that weight, I will do every podcast without a shirt on. And I will have that camera back so you can see every wrinkle and every flop and fold.
Yeah. I'm going to probably get some Jamingo jerky if you do lose 300 pounds, John. Thanks.
You know what they do is you get rid of all that skin, they tan it, and you can use it as a throw rug. I mean, that's a lot of skin. I think, no, they can't use that. They wouldn't be able to use that for like burn victims or anything like that, right?
Oh God.
Probably. Yeah. They could probably make a couple cocks out of it. Like I was just joking about mine, but I bet if you were a lady or a gal looking for some new equipment, they could probably form a couple dozen out of that.
Yeah, Bob's right. He said if he'd lose 30 more pounds, they got rid of that skin.
If they cut that skin off and tried to use it to graft onto burn victims, it would just not look right. Some poor kid would have a nipple on the side of his head. It's the worst.
Just a fat dude's belly hair growing on the side of your face. That's no good.
Jeez.
I have that problem.
You have a beard.
With just my skin graft on my face. Like my leg hair doesn't really grow that well, so I could never actually grow a beard because of my fucking skin graft. I gotta like grow my beard out and comb it up into my fucking sideburn. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm just, but I mean, good job. I guess this all started during COVID, and he figured, I'm not going to let COVID get me. I'm going to get skinny.
He did all the pull-ups.
That would suck. He gets COVID now and then dies after he lost all that weight. That was just like, come on, God.
That's the way it works.
Isn't it? It is kind
That's
of
funny. Good
That
for
is
him.
the optimal funny time for God to smite someone.
I hope he only gets half the money.
Only half the money. What do you mean?
I hope that he starts to GoFundMe. He only gets half the money, so he has to choose stomach or tits.
Oh, you know what I would do?
One tit?
No, I
half
do
the stomach.
one tit. No, I definitely do this. I'd get rid of those tits. I would definitely get rid of those floppy tits.
The titties were rough.
Yeah. I mean, the belly, you can tuck that in, but those titties, I mean, what? Oh my God. Poor guy. See, this is what we do to ourselves.
You live in a world where you would find some gal who would probably want you to put your floppity fucking belly skin like on their face or something. There's a whore out there that would let you do that, probably ask you to do that.
That's probably named Dwayne.
Yeah.
I had to guess. All back. Hey, come on.
That's extra. That's a lot of extra right there. This guy's my hero. This guy here. I think he's crazy, and I don't think this is going to end well. But this guy here has 4 wives. Look at this.
No.
And we're all dating the same man.
We've been together 6 years. He slid in my DM on Facebook.
And she slid in my room after that.
Oh?
I never feel like one female can amount to everything that I wanted. Whether she can cook and clean, but she couldn't have sex, or she can cook, clean, have sex, but she didn't know how to be there financially.
We knew nothing about poly, and we tried it. We liked it. We started doing more research, and it just kind of went from there. We really don't have jealousy and insecurity issues.
Oh, God.
We always uplift, especially.
Is this? There's no way this is true. This has got to be a hoax.
No, people are dumb enough to do this shit, John. I'm just saying, I have one wife, and there are some days, man, when I come home and I'm just like,
could you?
I can't imagine having 4 of them in my house.
Wives?
No, thank you.
It seems pretty good, except for maybe 3 to 4 days once a month when it's hell to be in that house.
Because they all sync up. So
that would be lucky that you would just be dealing with 3 crazy bitches at once. The unlucky guy would have them offset by a week, so you just have one bitch roaming your house every week of the month.
You don't know that women sync up if they're together all the time? You didn't know that?
I know that it happens, but it's not a scientifically proven fact that it's going to happen.
It's pretty much going to happen. You know how I know? I have 4 daughters at home.
That's true.
I have 4 daughters at home, and 1 week a month was fucking a nightmare. They were going crazy.
And just inside each other's fucking periods, dude.
They all had it at the same time. The girls all had
it.
I don't know why they do it. I don't know. It's some kind of pheromone hormone thing. They all
full moons. Jesus Christ.
So can I tell you how I'm going to predict how this is going to end?
Murder.
They're going to kill him.
Yeah.
4 of them are going to kill him. He's going to do something. He's going to piss the 4 of them off, and they're going to kill him.
Yeah.
This is this guy is, you know what he's doing? He's juggling chainsaws right now. This guy. He doesn't even realize it.
It's like he married all the Pussycat Dolls. This is crazy.
Right.
Within the women, we always uplifting one another. So like before I'm
Wait, so is she white? I think she's white.
At them, like I was a single parent, and it was like real hard on me. But just meeting them and them meet my son, like it's got 10 times better.
She's white presenting, John, but if that's Florida, she might just have a good tan.
The other thing is she has a kid, right? So how many kids do they have? Because that
1
4
too
probably.
Many.
Yeah.
1 too many. Because that's another thing. If he has kids if he's smart, he'll never. If he's smart, he'll go get a vasectomy. But what I'm trying to say is,
that's a good move.
Yeah, if he impregnates one of them, that's when all hell's going to break loose. Oh, here.
The second you have to show favoritism to one of them, it's going to be a problem.
Sure. Yeah.
I like juggling chainsaws. That's the best description I could have for this, because there is no way this ends happily. What a dumb motherfucker.
You have a lot of insecurities, and if you're a jealous person, so you won't be able to do it because it'll break you mentally. Poly is great when it comes to household chores. One person might be cleaning the kitchen, one person might be cooking, one person might be doing the kids' hair or helping the kids with homework. You just get a lot of help.
They're benefiting and they're grasping and they're gaining a lot within just being into the relationship.
With the right people, you would never want to go back. It's going to be hard to go back to being monogamous. Why make my life harder when I can have
especially with the right people? It comes in all forms and shapes and sizes.
I'm happy for this guy. I really, truly am. I just know that it's like watching a car wreck slowly.
Yeah. This is
the gas cap is open and it's just leaking gasoline. And I'm just watching it barreling for a brick wall. And I go, any minute now.
This is like the submarine stuck under the ocean, and you're just waiting for the oxygen to run out.
That is true. It's just like that, because when they finally go, oh yeah, everybody died, I'm going to go, good. It's exactly what I thought was going to happen.
I kind of think this guy is living the life right now, because like, did you hear her? She's like, it's great when it comes to the household chores. One of us is taking care of the kids. The other one is cleaning the kitchen. Notice none of those people that she mentioned are him. Like they're doing everything, and he's just like smiling.
I feel jelly. Yeah, he figured it out.
Listen, it's like going out riding the perfect wave. Like, you know, you may end up dying, they may end up killing you, but it was a goddamn good ride. You know what I mean?
The thing is, like, if you didn't have sex with them, and I'm being honest here, this would be crazy if you could manage this, so that you take that out of it and just have 4 broads that live with you and help you with the day-to-day chores. I'd be all for that. I just don't want to start making babies and child supports and fucking getting stabbed for busting inside these broads, because eventually that will be a problem.
So the first thing I started thinking about is, what does this man do for a living? How does he make money?
He makes babies.
No. Like, I mean, I understand having your pimp hand being strong, but you got to bring something to the table. And I don't know what that is with him. He doesn't look like a rapper. He doesn't look like a doctor. He may be a drug dealer. I don't know, but
goddamn.
What the hell?
Hold on. Dr. Dre doesn't look like either, but he's a billionaire.
Okay. All right.
Have you seen Jay-Z recently? He looks like a hobo in a fucking trench coat.
Okay, I get that, but I've never heard of this man. And
He does.
that
I don't know. I think he was kind of scared of her because I don't know if you were paying attention, but the way he was darting his fucking eyes back and forth, like every time they were talking, he had his arm up on the couch, and she would say some shit, and he would be looking here, and then just immediately like, whoop, whoop. So I don't know if she's already hit him a few times, but he knows his place. That lady runs that house.
His head's on a swivel. There's no way. You mean you got to keep your shit together? There's no downtime in that house. Everybody, you got to know exactly what's going on at all times.
That's a small price to pay, though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I always say the 8 hours of bullshit ain't worth the 8 minutes of pleasure. I can't make the whole trip. I don't know. Like I said, I've been married and I've been in long-term relationships, and it's exhausting trying to keep one happy. I can't even fucking imagine trying to keep four happy. Good luck, guy. Godspeed. That's all I got to say. He'll be on the creep off. I give it another 2 years.
Good. Can't wait.
Yeah, you
can't wait for the episode.
Vinny just met his new fucking personal hero.
I remember this story where I was doing Rubberneckers and we were talking about this guy. They finally got him. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. All righty.
Stand up on that grill.
Oh my God.
Hey, John.
Yes.
Did you have the other funny thing?
Which is
the really funny thing we talked about yesterday?
You got it. Can I buy it now?
Huh?
I don't have it. No, I didn't know you put it. You wanted it up on here. I don't have that. You didn't put it on the board, did you?
No, I didn't put it on the board. John.
You yell at me for that.
I'm not going to yell at you.
All right. Can you find it real quick and throw it in the?
I sure can.
The private chat. And listen, while you do that, I want to talk about digital blackface, because this is some bullshit right here. I mean, I can understand the struggle, but I'm not even putting up with this at all. They're trying to hurt us into a corner, and I'm not going for this. Here we go.
If Miss Cornica does get too close, you know what I'm gonna do? Here, hold my hot Cheetos.
Now, what in the white supremacy is this?
Today's baggage, digital blackface. This is digital blackface. It's a problematic phenomena that you no doubt have seen and perhaps have even been guilty of. It's when non-Black people attempt to recreate Blackness online. The term was popularized by Professor Laura Michelle Jackson in a Teen Vogue op-ed she wrote in 2017. She was pretty much calling out the excessive use of Black GIFs and memes to express extreme emotion. So if a white person uses this GIF to show excitement or this GIF to show disappointment, they are guilty of digital blackface.
What do you think about this? I'm calling bullshit on this.
I don't know if Teen Vogue published it.
They already took the word away from us. Now we can't use again. I come from a time when everybody broke each other's balls. Okay. And if you didn't get teased and if you didn't get your balls broken, then they didn't like you. All right. If you have a problem with digital blackface, then start using digital whiteface. This is just
that's the problem. We have no good gifts. I like the gifts of Ice Cube and Chris Tucker going damn on the porch.
That's
like it's funny to me.
I see.
The only one we have is that one of Ryan Gosling like chuckling on the bench. Like,
that's not true. We also have Forrest Gump running down the driveway and up the street.
We also have Robert Downey Jr. crossing his arms and rolling his eyes. And listen, we bring some whiteness to the game. I mean, our gifts are just as good as them.
But sometimes you need Will Smith slapping Chris Rock on stage to really get your point across.
Yeah.
I'm championing Black gifts. I'm not trying to steal them. I'm not pretending to be Black. I'm saying I don't have a proper representation for how funny this thing is. So here's a good way to say how I feel about this situation. It's interpretive art. Fuck off.
Did you find it, Jodie?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Personally, I just believe that I don't want to argue.
Don't want to tap dance on the minefield?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
I just like no, it's not that.
Is there such thing as digital blackface? I don't think
I
there
don't even
is.
know what we're arguing about here. Is if a white person uses a GIF of a black person,
You can't do that. That's against the rules, Vinny.
They come charged. Listen, you go in, you see something that's like really outrageous, Vinny, and you put up a GIF of from the movie Friday where they go, damn, and then also they charge into your comments and ratio you, saying, how dare you use digital blackface? You should take and find some white people to do something like that to express that.
Am I still allowed to watch Friday?
Yes, but not respond with it.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time is Fridays. I love that. He says, man, you always got something missing. You got Kool-Aid, no sugar. You got cornflakes, no milk. I mean, I love that movie.
My favorite movie, Fridays. My favorite restaurant, Fridays. My favorite day of the week, Fridays.
Fridays. Yeah. Come on.
So I sent both of the things, John. Remember, there's a two-parter to that.
Where did you put them?
I put it into the Discord chat.
Of course.
I apologize, sir.
That's all right. It takes me. I said private chat here. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to fight in front of Vinny here.
What? I don't give a fuck if Vinny's here. Don't you threaten me, John, you son of a bitch. I'll come over there and break a boot off in your ass.
All right. Here we go.
Right.
I'm barely here, guys. Don't worry about me.
I'll never go on that Rubberneckers show again. I'll tell you that. You can hear Vinny now. Well, I tell you what, you can do whatever you want, but don't go on that Rubberneckers show. Listen, whatever you do, please don't tell Ray DeVito not to come on our show. That would be that.
I don't know Ray. I've never met Ray before in my life.
Really? I'm sure you know.
Nope.
He stinks, Vinny. Just don't.
You know what he does? Jodie does this to me just so he wants to see how fast I can produce the show. I appreciate that.
On the fly. You're a goddamn professional, Jamingo, and I appreciate that.
All right, here we go.
Did you see the video of Sam Smith stage diving, Vinny? Did you see this?
No.
Oh, this is great. So this is a picture of the guy who sings all the songs pretty at a concert trying to do a stage dive. Yeah, sure it is. Look at him. He's gotten real big lately and he's being all risque.
Isn't he gay?
Very gay. He's risque.
Okay.
I had no idea that dude looked like me. Holy shit.
Well, let me ask you this, Vinny. If you had like a really good set and you killed at the end of the night, would you do this?
Oh no. Oh. Is the ground okay?
No. Goddamn, no one was signing up to catch fucking Green Man.
I feel like he didn't even aim for people, right? Like he kind of just dove in an empty spot. Stupid.
Right now, he knew that he fucked up. They're running away from him, and down he goes. They didn't even try.
He's missed. Wow.
I mean,
what the fuck is he wearing?
It's a turtle costume, Vinny. You don't know what you know that costume. I bet you own one of those costumes in your house right now. Ninja Turtles?
Why is Sam Smith dressed like a Ninja Turtle at his concert?
Vinny, it's not Sam Smith. It's just a fat guy jumping off stage in a turtle costume.
Okay, I don't know anything. Oh, well, then in that case, I do hope he's dead.
Oh,
broke his neck.
There was an even better angle, dude. It's crazy. Somebody got him from the front, too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Coming in.
That's what I want to see. I want to see Takeoff.
It kind of reminded me of the time where Sal, the stockbroker, was doing that live show, and he had the Baba Booey mask on, and he was doing the monkey dance, and he stepped off the stage and broke his wrist. I think he broke his wrist in his collarbone or something like that. But I mean, fat guys don't stage dive. No. Fat guys don't do shit like that. Fat guys don't sit on plastic furniture.
Do you have the other angle, John?
No. How would I get into the other angle?
I sent two things in the Discord chat, John.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. See,
it's a good thing we have an editor. It just cuts out all the shit.
All right, let's see how fast I can do
this. Hey, Vinny,
I
want you to act surprised and laugh really hard for this one, okay?
Nope.
You better.
I'm not telling
you. You're going to find this as fucking amusing as I did.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. Let me ask you something, Vinny.
Yo.
Are you a fan of Vanilla Ice? You ever been to a Vanilla Ice concert?
Have I ever been to a Vanilla Ice concert?
Yeah.
Why no, I have not.
I would like to present to the court Exhibit A. because I happen to wonder when I saw this video, I said, I bet Vinny likes Vanilla Ice. Seems like a place he would hang out.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Here's the front version. Here's the front facing version of this.
Nice.
Here we go. Oh boy, poor guy.
Vinny.
All right, I will laugh. you know what? Everybody's go, that looks like Vinny, but dude, that's Patton Oswalt's like twin.
I was thinking kind of Brennan Sagalow too, but like right when I first saw it, John and I both kind of looked at it and go, that kind of looks like Vinny. Am I crazy?
I don't think I said it looks like Vinny.
I said it looks like Vinny. Fuck you. I'll take the bullet.
I didn't say
it, so I would stop looking like these guys. I'm so sick of every time there's a fucking gif of a fat guy falling down or something, go, oh look, it's Vinny. Let's tweet it at him.
Yeah. At least I would have the goddamn decency to do it to your face, though. That's the best part.
Thank you, Jodie.
Look at this.
He got some hang time for a big fella, huh?
He
He
thought
gave
he
it
was-
everything he had.
They're running. The only reason their hands are up is just to try to divert him to the ground. Like, they're not trying to catch him. They're trying to push him out of the way so he doesn't land on them. But I'll tell you what, good extension, an amazing extension, and then down. Like he thought, good here, and right about here, he knew he was in trouble. And
It
down
makes me really respect people that would sell for the big fellas back in the day, Vinny. Like the people that would take those top rope ass drops from Rikishi and stuff. Like you got to be willing to catch a motherfucker, and he didn't have anybody spotting him that night.
And this guy right here, what we saw was a man fighting gravity and losing. For a split second, he was a goddamn eagle. He
Yeah.
was up in the air. He was so free. And then the second he starts going down, what I liked about it was not so much the look on his face. It was the look on the faces of the people the second he goes out of frame.
Oh,
because
shit.
they all look horrified, like, oh, and that to me is the joy of this.
Oh, nobody caught him. Everybody else was recording too. Oh shit!
I'm living through them. I'm living through their enjoyment.
Yeah, it reminds me of the time where Big J got pulled off the stage over in Doylestown, where that guy came up and grabbed him by the leg, and before he even hit the ground, Luis J. Gomez was diving off the stage to try to get him.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to kick him in the head. That was a funny fucking clip.
Jesus,
you ever been yanked off stage by your ankles, Vinny? Not
No.
yet. Gotcha.
Never once.
Have you ever been attacked on stage?
I've been threatened on stage.
You've been threatened. What?
Yeah.
Can I ask what joke? What joke did you tell that they had to threaten you?
Well, I was just making jokes. It was a local show that I was on. This was a long time ago. And I was making fun of the Buffalo Bills.
Oh.
And a lot of very drunk people get very offended by that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to fucking beat the shit out of you in the parking lot, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't even think you're gonna know where the parking lot's at in 5 minutes, asshole.
I said something like, this is what I love about the Bills fans. Like, he's going to threaten me 4 times and nothing is going to happen.
He's gonna go wide right.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, I was a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I mean, we were just no Super Bowls, no nothing, and we finally got one in 2018. And I could die a happy man now. So I understand.
I like Philly fans way better than Bills fans.
The thing, that's what people don't understand. There's a certain mentality in Philadelphia that is not anywhere else. And if you're from Philly and you talk to people outside of Philly and you're yourself, they think you're really mean. But we get each other. We don't get upset about it. But everybody
You're all
else,
assholes. Is that what you said?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I embrace the Philly fandom, that we're assholes and we do shit. I embrace it 100%.
When we were
It's in
just
your
on
blood.
Philly for the WATP show, fucking you Philadelphia people are goddamn insane.
Oh yeah.
You are kind of assholes over cheesesteaks though. You people don't shut the fuck up about cheesesteaks. The second they find out, Jodie, if you ever end up in Philadelphia, the second they fucking find out you're not from there, they will just talk your ear off about these goddamn chopped meat sandwiches.
Oh shit! Like I never had one in my whole life. Think I never had a cheesesteak? You fucking asshole!
Oh, you're gonna get a cheesesteak? Where are you gonna go? Where are you
Your
gonna
mom's
go?
house. That's where I'm going for my cheesesteak. Gee.
I've told this story before. It was like 11 o'clock at night. What I love about Philadelphia is any time of night, if you're hungry, you can go get a cheesesteak. So you drive over to Philly, and there's two places, Pat's and Gino's.
Is
So
that why all the women look like me?
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
So I go there.
Does
I
this look healthy?
and it was after the Flyers game, and there's Flyers and New York Rangers fans there, and they're all just sitting around eating cheesesteaks. So I get my cheesesteak, I go get my truck, and I go, hey, who says there can't be world peace? Look at this. Rangers fans and Flyers fans eating cheesesteak in harmony. This gives me faith in humanity. I get my truck.
And a bird landed on your shoulder, and you guys winked at each other, and you guys going to be all right.
And then they all clutched their chests and fucking fell over.
15 minutes after I left there, the huge riot broke out, and two New York Rangers fans were killed in the fight. They killed two people there 15 minutes after I left. Yeah, I don't know what was said, but whatever it was on, and the cops had to come, and a bunch of people were arrested, and they killed two people there. But
Jesus,
I understand it.
Hell yeah. Jamingo.
I think it's it. I think we've done it all. I think we've said it all.
Yeah, that's a good time. Vinnie Paulino, thank you for joining us this evening. I'm glad that we had your co-host Carl on a few weeks ago, and I literally made him say the word "the creep off" as many times as I could in the episode just for you, because I know he's a prick.
That is so nice of you.
I know he's a prick, and he doesn't like to advertise the show, so I made him do it through the whole goddamn episode, and I'm happy you came tonight. It's nice to finally get to meet you, Vinnie Paulino.
Jodie, I thank you sincerely for having me. This was a lot of fun. Jamingo, great meeting you. Thank you for that, because Carl is a prick. You're absolutely correct. He'll promote WATP and Who Are These Socials all day long.
Yeah, I'm a Vietnam true believer. The People's Creep came to visit tonight, and I appreciate that. Would you like to give any of your plugs to the shows with the potato? And do you do the Comedy Carlson cast too still? Or
I do. I'm actually doing a brand new episode tomorrow. I have Sarah Kalana. She was a writer for Chelsea lately.
Yeah.
And she's been on Shameless and a few shows. She's going to be my guest tomorrow morning on the Comedy the Carlson cast. The Creep Off live on YouTube every Monday. Check out thecreepoff.com for all the links to that. And Subreddit Surfing is the new show I do with Cardiff Electric, where every week we pick a different subreddit and we go find out what the fuck people are up to on them. And that show has been a very pleasant surprise. He pitched me the idea to come do it with him. Yep. And I'm really glad that I did, because it's been a lot of fun.
I've asked Jamingo if we could have Cardiff on the show, and I couldn't sell him on the idea, believe it or not.
Hang on.
I'm going to throw you right under the bus, and I'm going to back up and run over you again.
No, first of all, you're absolutely right, because when I first started hearing the potato, he was very slow, and but the potato has come. Potato is like Carl. When he first started, he was not as good. The potato has come around. The potato has a personality. I would have the potato on anytime here. The potato has gotten a lot better.
Cardiff Electric is his name. Say his name, John.
I'm sorry, Cardiff. Say his name, Cardiff Electric. Yes. Yeah, I think he's. I've listened to him on a couple shows now. I listened to him the other day on Who's Right, and I hear him with Carl at the end of the WATP, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Cardiff Electric. I never thought I would say that sentence, but I'm a fan.
You know, the first time I met him was at the Creep Off roast, and he wouldn't give us any information about what he wanted to do. He just asked to be on the show, and we were like, sure.
He wore a mask the whole time, correct?
He dressed like Michael Myers, and he's a very tall gentleman. And he stood in the back of the room laughing and laughing and laughing in the Michael Myers. Exactly correct. In that same voice. In that mask. And the servers were terrified. I found out after. They went to go get the manager. They're like, no, he's part of the show. It's all right. But he's really a funny guy. He's great. You should have him on.
I would love to have him on. I would love to have him on. I remember when I first listened to him, I was like, how is this guy getting this much publicity? I didn't understand it, but he has come a long way, and I am a fan of Cardiff Electric.
He's navigated it very well. So I appreciate that.
I was really shocked I ended up doing a show with him, and he's a joy to work with. He really is.
Yeah, he's a charming potato. I've never got the pleasure of meeting him, and that's the other problem, Jamingo. Like the last couple of weeks, Vinny, thank you for coming on time and being very punctual. We had to move it a little bit for you, but thank you for being here, because for the first time last week, we had a guest that was an hour late. That happened.
That's terrible.
It completely killed John's faith in new random co-hosts that he doesn't know or guests. He was just like, I don't even want other people now. People can't show up.
Well, it was.
I was nervous too. That's the see, I said that out front too. I said he's going to be late. Chill out.
No, it was fine. And like I said, I try to go with the flow, but
yeah,
I'm old and I'm grumpy. What do you want? All right,
teaching the old dogs new tricks here, Vinny. Thank you for helping me do that this evening.
Well, thank you. And I don't know if I actually got the plug out on that. Subreddit surfing on YouTube.
Do it. Yep.
Thank you.
All right,
you guys are great.
I will go find your links. They will be in the show notes.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. I know how to service the guests. I'm no dummy.
Yeah, cup the balls, Jamingo.
All right, here we go. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for